everyone, my name is NewFlowerGirl, you can call me Demi, and welcome back to another Aftertalk. This one is going to be long because I'm going to be using once again the race report, and it has been a sprint weekend. Yay. An update on Minecraft Championship. I have not yet, I haven't yet gotten confirmation that we're in. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. Anyways, like I said, it has been a sprint weekend. So we're going to be going over what happened there and during what happened during the main race. Fun fact, it was raining a lot. So yeah. And also Max Verstappen got a penalty for a gearbox change 5 places back. So yeah. Let's go. We are in the right one. I've got it right now on my laptop, so yeah, it's a bit easier reading for me. Red Bull driver Max Verstappen converted pole position into victory during Sunday's sprint race at the Belgium Grand Prix, claiming the lead back from McLaren rival Oscar Piastri. You heard it right, Oscar Piastri led a Grand Prix sprint race for the first time ever. After the two drivers opted for different strategies in a captivating wet encounter. Hard words, guys. Amid plenty of action on the slippery Spa-Francorchamps circuit, Alpine's Pierre Gasly made the most of the conditions to round out the podium, while Lewis Hamilton was demoted from 4th to 7th after the Mercedes 9 clashed with the other Red Bull of Sergio Perez and picked up a penalty. With rain the theme of the weekend so far, and following a post-shootout break in the weather, the heavens opened up again just before the 17:05 local time scheduled start of the sprint. Officials deciding to push it back by 30 minutes to allow the last downpour to pass. By the time the formation lap began on mandated 4 wet tyres and behind safety car, which became several laps. It was like 5 laps. The sun had burst back through the clouds and lit up the track, promising an early switch to intermediates and potentially slick rubber as the race developed. Now Spa-Francorchamps is a long circuit, so they have the least amount of laps. I believe for the feature race it was like 44 laps that it was actually racing because of the length, and basically the way they calculate how many laps each car has to go, they basically calculate like how long is the track, how long do they do over one lap, and how much time do we have, and that's how they calculate how long and how many laps they should do. When the safety car peeled into the pits, with the race now running to 11 laps, which was 12, several cars immediately boxed to swap wet sprinters, which were Piastri, Sainz, Gasly, Hamilton, Perez, Ricciardo, Albon, Stroll, Bottas and Hülkenberg making that call. Meanwhile, having stayed out on the rolling start, pole sitter Max Verstappen held on to P1 ahead of Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris, Esteban Ocon and George Russell, radioing that we need to box this lap as he struggled to make his wet tyres work in the ever-drying conditions. At the end of that first racing lap, Verstappen and the rest of the wet runners pitted, with Piastri's rapid pace on the intermediate giving him the lead, when the reigning double world champion rejoined the action, setting up the prospect of a thrilling battle. After a host of near misses in the pit lane as drivers squabbled for positions, Gasly found himself running third behind Piastri and Verstappen, with Perez up to 4th, Hamilton in 5th, and Sainz rounding out the top 6 from Leclerc and Norris. As the race settled down, Verstappen ate into Piastri's lead, which stood at just under 2 seconds at their respective stops, making full use of the Red Bull's inevitable and variable straight line speed to fill the rookie drivers' mirrors and put the pressure on. But then on lap 4, Fernando Alonso lost control of his Aston Martin in the dirty air of a Haas at Pouhon and spun into the gravel, triggering a safety car just before Verstappen thought about making a move on Piastri, meaning he would have to go again at the restart. Now, to be honest, I think that Alonso went onto the curb a bit too much, and that's why he spun. In the wets, during a race, stay away of painted areas because you will spin and crash. Now, Alonso didn't actually crash, which was good for the team, but yeah, stay off the painted areas. At this point, an intriguing radio message was sent Verstappen's way from the Red Bull pit wall, saying intel is Piastri's left-hand tyre is already suffering. In response, Verstappen said he was not surprised, given that the McLaren had been drifting everywhere. With Alonso's car cleared, the race got back underway at the end of lap 5, giving Piastri the latest test of his burgeoning career as he led a restart for the first time, only to be immediately overhauled by Verstappen down the Camel Straight. My dad my dad went to Spa-Francorchamps a couple of times, and he stood at the end of Camel Straight, basically where Lecombe is, and that maneuver, or the overtake, which happened with Hakkinen and Michael Schumacher with backmarker Zonta. My dad saw that one live. And last year we saw a remake of that overtake. And this year we saw the 2023 version of it in the main race. Only there was no backmarker this time. But it was good. Gasly held third while Hamilton and Perez dramatically banged wheels through Blanchimont as they battled for over 4th position, the 7-time world champion managing to work his way through around the outside of Le Source a few moments later. Perez became a sitting duck with damage to his sidepod. There was a massive hole in it, losing positions to Sainz and Leclerc shortly after. Leclerc with a massive ballsy overtake at Lecombe. It was amazing! Then taking a trip through the gravel at Stavelot and tumbling down the order, promoting Norris to 7th and Ricciardo into the points. Having cleared Piastri, Verstappen unleashed the raw pace of his RB19 to surge into the distance, seeing out the final few laps to take the checkered flag with more than 6 seconds clear and back the maximum 8 points to offer. Gasly kept his composure to give the reshuffled Alpine team a moral boosting podium as Hamilton came home in 4th, but then dropped all the way down to 7th after being given a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision with Perez, who retired from proceedings. Yeah. Hamilton's penalty promoted Sainz to 4th, Leclerc to 5th, Norris to 6th, with Russell making late moves on Ocon and Ricciardo to secure the final point. The Australian just missing out on a reward as he continues to encouraging F1 return. Stroll recovered from a shootout crash to take 11th ahead of Albon and Bottas, with Kevin Magnussen, Zhou Guanyu gaining spots due to Logan Sargent's 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Hulkenberg and Yuki Tsunoda were the final two finishers as Perez and Alonso watched from the sidelines. Now who is second? Well, who have I not mentioned? Oscar Piastri. He got his first effing podium. So proud of him. He is going to be Rookie of the Year. And I mean that. He's going to be Rookie of the Year. Anyways, there are a couple of other things like he quote big movers and what's next. But like, no. I'm already 10 minutes into the video and I still need to do the feature race part. Anyway, Max Verstappen recovered from a 5-place gearbox penalty to claim his 8th successive victory in Sunday's Belgium Grand Prix, with teammate Sergio Perez adding to the celebrations for Red Bull as he completed a 1-2 result. I didn't like the start of the race, especially not the first lap. I was basically kind of like sulking the whole race. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Rookie Oscar Piastri. And you will know why I was sulking in a bit. If you're in my Discord, you'll know why. And you also know who I will blame for what happened. Verstappen gradually picked off his rivals across a tense 4-lap encounter at Spa-Francorchamps, taking P1 after Ferrari Charles Leclerc had started the race on pole. The championship leader then kept his car on the track during a mid-race shower that threatened to, but did not quite force, a move from slicks to intermediates. Perez also worked his way past Leclerc to come home in the runner-up spot, crossing the line some 20 seconds behind Verstappen, giving Red Bull their first perfect result since the Miami Grand Prix back in May. Well, not quite, because he didn't get fastest lap. Max didn't get fastest lap. Leclerc held on for the final podium position, denying 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton, who pitted late on to net the fastest lap, while Fernando Alonso put his Aston Martin ahead of the other Mercedes machine of George Russell to take 5th. Lando Norris initially lost a host of positions after starting the race on medium tyres and then switching to hard, but a move to soft as spits of rain began to fall proved inspired, and he gobbled up the competition on its grippy rubber and eventually backed 7th. Aston Martin secured another double points finish as Lance Stroll backed up teammate Alonso in 9th, while Esteban Ocon and Yuki Tsunoda completed the points in 8th and 10th, respectively, via some late scrapping. Pierre Gasly went longer into the race than anyone else with a sizable first stint, but a slow stop when he eventually boxed hindered his efforts and left him 11th at the checkered flag, followed by the Alfa Romeos of Bottas and Guan Yu Zhou, or Zhou Guan Yu. Williams had mixed it in the pits, paying places early on, with the FW45 showing incredible straight line speed, but they faded as the different slick tyre strategies played out, leaving Albon in 14th and Sargent in 17th. Haas duo Kevin Magnussen and Nico Hulkenberg, both impacted by pre-race penalties, wound up 15th and 18th respectively, while 16th went to the second AlphaTauri of Daniel Ricciardo, who could not match his teammate Yuki Tsunoda's point-scoring efforts. Only 18 cars finished the race after a first corner clash between sprint race podium finisher Oscar Piastri and Carlos Sainz led to both drivers retiring. The McLaren man clipped the inside wall at Le Source, turn 1, and stopping on the side of the track, and the Ferrari nursing damage before being called in to retire. When the drivers returned to Parc Fermé, Verstappen could not hide his delight as he punched the air in celebration for the 10th time this season, moving just one win away from matching Sebastian Vettel's successive victory record of 9 races in the process. It also means that Verstappen now holds a lead of 125 points over Perez in the drivers' standings, as Dutchman continues to push forward what would be a 3rd World Championship on the bounce. My mum had found something or done some calculations. So if Max wins now every race, fastest lap included, and Perez does not get into the points, Verstappen is winner chicken dinner. Or he gets chicken dinner. He gets chicken dinner. You know the rhyme. Winner chicken dinner. He gets the title at COTA, which is the US. In case people don't know yet, COTA is basically short for Circuit of the Americas. I like this circuit. It's a really good one with one massive back straight. I like it. Mainly because MotoGP goes there as well, so I kind of know the track. But if Perez wins now every race and Max finishes 2nd, then it is Mexico that Max will become champion. Yeah. Good calculation. Good calculating. Before the sprint race, I had also calculated for Leclerc if he wanted to become world champion. I've got the calculations with me. One sec. So, before the sprint race and stuff, for this weekend, Max was at 281 and Leclerc was at 80. Yeah. The winner would take home with the sprint races. I completely miscalculated it. I'm only seeing it now because there was 3 sprint races, but it was supposed to be. I basically did 11. I'm an idiot. So yeah. Let's continue. After an action-packed, rain-affected sprint day, all eyes were on the skies as the F1 paddock regrouped for the main event, the Belgium Grand Prix itself, with spits of rain threatening to turn into showers through the morning, setting up the prospect of another weather-related twist. Several updates on the grid saw Verstappen drop from P1 to P6 due to him taking a new gearbox, Magnussen go from P13 to P16 for impeding Leclerc in qualifying, and Hülkenberg moved to the pit lane for a host of power unit and gearbox changes. He got taken out, or he basically took the mechanics took the car out of Park for May rules, for which you need to have clearance for. Or basically you need to show and have proof that you have damage. That is the only reason why you can take your car out of Park for May rules. It's basically so it makes it fair for everyone, otherwise you can change your gearbox every single time. And no one would know. When the tyre blankets came off the cars, it was revealed that of the top 10 starters, Positor, Leclerc, Perez, Hamilton, Sainz and Verstappen had gone for the soft compound, while Piastri, Norris, Russell, Alonso and Stroll went with the mediums. Then came the moment for the talking to stop and the action to begin, with Leclerc initially managing to retain his pole advantage as the lines went out, slotting ahead of Perez, Hamilton, Sainz and Piastri as the latter two banged wheels at Le Source. Moments later, Perez tucked in behind Leclerc and breezed past the Monegasque along the Camel Straight, while Piastri tumbled down the order as he reported damage. Replay showing that he clipped the inside wall in his skirmish with Sainz. We actually have video here of it happening. Just for now, wrong one. I'm gonna turn my sounds off. So yeah, I'm gonna go full screen. Hopefully, please let me.
Look, Sainz has the lock-up. Piastri's there, has a nose in. He's so close to the wall. Sainz comes right across. He's got Hamilton on his outside. They're 3 wide, and it's a little bit brave, I think, from Piastri coming in on the inside here with Sainz. He's just pinched between the Mercedes and the McLaren. Sainz locks up, and Piastri doesn't want to be sticking a nose in here.
He didn't.
I don't know what he was doing. I was there and just turned in like I didn't exist.
Not there enough, I don't think. Sticking a nose in on the inside is, you're always liable for that sort of position. And Carlos didn't have another opportunity not to do that, really. He had Hamilton on his outside.
The man who was a star yesterday is out of the Grand Prix today.
That Piastri had to retire. That is also, you know, it's also like you've forced someone to retire. That is worth a penalty. And he gave himself the damage, Sainz. You know, if I was, you know, turn one, you don't win a race in the first corner. I mean, come on. And I'm saying this while I am kind of a Sainz fan, but like, I am more Piastri fan, more McLaren fan than I am a Ferrari fan. I'm sorry. But it is what it is. Sainz should get a penalty. So yeah. At the end of the first lap, Perez led Leclerc by more than a second ahead of Hamilton and Verstappen, who benefited from Piastri's dramas. Sainz held fifth, as he also reported damage, with Alonso, Norris, the fast starting Tsunoda, Albon and Stroll rounding out the top 10. Piastri could not make it back to the pits due to damage he sustained at the start, pulling off the track in the middle sector and briefly bringing out the yellow flags. There was no safety car because the marshals worked very quickly. I don't know what he was doing, came a frustrated radio message from the Australian rookie. Sainz was told to adjust his aero balance as a result of the pretty big damage he had picked up, enabling Alonso to close in and pull a move, while just behind them Tsunoda and Albon, displaying a rapid straight line speed, got the jump on Norris. Shortly afterwards, Tsunoda and Albon were the next drivers to capitalize Sainz's damage-related troubles, while Norris lost further places in quick succession to Stroll and Russell, who then embarked on a wheel-to-wheel scrap over 9th position. Struggling on his starting set of medium tyres, Norris made an early stop and swapped to hards, along with Magnussen and Ricciardo, before cameras cut to Verstappen clearing Hamilton down the Camel Straight into Le Combs. If I ever go to a Formula 1 race at Spa-Francorchamps, I want to sit on the dike at Le Combs. According to my dad, that's like one of the best places. For one, overtakes. Most important thing. Number 2, you get to see them. Number 3, video screen. Important. Because like those cars only come by like 44 times on a race, during a race. If not less. But then you also like have knowledge of what's happening if you don't have unlimited data. If I'm not going to be sitting near a video screen, I want to have limited data or like Wi-Fi, so I can have the race up and then have people stand over my shoulder watching along what is going to happen. So yeah. would be good. By lap 7 of 44, Sainz was down to 10th and almost out of the points paying position, with Sargent like teammate Albon making good use of his Williams' impressive straight line speed, dully demoting this Ferrari driver by slipping past at Blanchiment. Albon, Sainz and Zhou were the next drivers to pit, leading to a dramatic side-by-side moment with Ocon and Norris as they rejoined the track. While a message from the Mercedes pit wall to Hamilton revealed potential rain on the radar 20 minutes away not very strong. On the 9th lap, Verstappen chucked into the slipstream behind Leclerc down the Camel Straight and got the job done around the outside under braking for Leclerc, meaning that it was now a Red Bull 1-2 at the head of the order. Perez held an advantage of around 2.5 seconds over Verstappen as the lap chart ticked to 10, with Leclerc, Hamilton, Alonso, Stroll, Russell, Gasly and Hülkenberg the other drivers yet to pit. 10th placed Albon heading the train of cars that had been in for fresh tyres. Sorry, this is very long. Alonso was the next of the front runners to box on lap 11, coming back just ahead of Hülkenberg, but then losing out to the Haas down the Camel Straight just before Tsunoda moved ahead of Albon for what was at that stage the final point. At the front of the field, Perez was managing the gap back to Verstappen as they stretched out their opening stints on soft. Leclerc set a further 3.5 seconds back and Hamilton trailed another 4.5 seconds, the latter coming in for fresh tyres at the end of lap 13. Lap 14 was the number for Perez as he stopped to swap softs for mediums, suffering a slight delay as sparks flew from one of the Red Bull's wheel guns, while Max Verstappen's teammate was told by his engineer to please follow my instructions on strategy after raising some questions. Verstappen was then told that rain could be on the way in around 10 minutes and asked if he could make it to that point on his aging softs. "I can't see the weather radar, can I?" Verstappen commented in response, before pitting following Perez's move to mediums. With Leclerc also coming in, it meant only Stroll, Russell and Gasly had yet to stop, the trio potentially thinking about the reported local showers and whether a straight switch to intermediates if the rain hit the track could bring them right into contention. Verstappen slashed Perez's advantage as they settled into their medium short stints, arriving at the rear of his teammate's car at the end of lap 17, tucking in behind him on the run between Les Sources and Lecombe, and completing a clean move for the lead. Leclerc and Hamilton remained in lonely P4 and P5 spots, followed by Alonso and Stroll, who got their Aston Martins ahead of Russell's Mercedes, with Gasly, Tsunoda, Ocon completing the top 10. Stroll, Russell and Gasly still yet to pit. Norris stopped again at the lap of 16, swap his hard tyres for soft. Sainz reported over the radio that it was now raining at turn 15, with Ferrari confirming that there would be a few spots before a 10-minute long shower. As the intensity gradually increased, drivers began to slip and slide their way around the track, turning eyes back to the pit lane where the team would start calling their cars in to swap slick tyres for intermediates. The next stop came for Lance Stroll, who rather than taking on intermediates moved from mediums to softs, the rain not quite heavy enough to force the switch. Russell and Gasly meanwhile continued as the only drivers yet to pit to change for tyres. Conditions were treacherous though, as proven by a wild snap for Verstappen through the Rajon Eau Rouge complex. Frick, I almost lost it. The reigning double world champion commented afterwards as he breathed a sign of relief. I'm gonna skip through like quite a couple of bits. So yeah, the rain eventually stopped, and yeah, that's it really. Yeah. So the next Formula 1 race is actually at the end of next month. So that will be the 25th and 27th of August. And I'm not done yet with the Aftertalks, because next weekend, or next week, we do have MotoGP coming up. Yeah. I have the holiday vlogs ready, but I actually want to wait to upload them until there is a weekend where there is no Formula 1 or no MotoGP. So I'm gonna quickly check on my phone, see the calendar of the MotoGP. They changed the app. I was so confused where everything was. Alright. So okay, I know when to do it. Basically the Saturday after the British Grand Prix, which is the 12th and the 16th, I will have uploaded the holiday vlogs, and one of them is very long, but I'm so sorry for that, but you know, I kind of like long videos, you know. Anyways, my throat is dying. I need to drink something. But that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then please hit the like button. Also consider subscribing if you don't want to miss any more Aftertalks or just random videos. And I'm sorry I didn't get any updates on Minecraft Championship. I will tweet out a specific thing. You know, when we do get the results, or if we do get in. If not, then I'll just say like, not in, or something like that. I will, if I'm not in MCC, I will stream one of the viewers or one of the players. So yeah, if you are watching and you have applied to MCC Rising, let me know if I should stream your view, your live stream, if I don't make it in, because I still want to react to it. I still want to be part of MCC, so that's why no matter what, I'm gonna be streaming that day, and I'll be watching Minecraft Championship. But anyway, that's it for me for now, and I shall see you guys in another video. Bye.